Everybody, this is Super Ninja Austin here, back with another video, and this is episode 34 of the SNA podcast. This is the wrestling news video part 6, and let's begin. And we're going to be looking at today's video. For today's video, we're going to be looking at the wrestling articles from Fightful Select. We're going to start off today with Matt Cardona. We have the Matt Cardona news that it says he would lay down for Mr. Beast, bashed at the Beast style. I'd be KSI. And it says right here on this article with Matt Cardona is the longest reigning internet champion of all time, holding the title for 705 days. I believe that's the championship he created, by the way. But yeah, it says right here, Cardona is the king of the internet in the wrestling community, but he does have competitions in other competition. Let me re-announce that it's competition in other entertainment spaces with gamers, cosplaying, and viral sensations always popping up, making a name for themselves. Speaking of Muscle Man Malcolm, Cardona was asked about two popular internet stars and whether he would do the job for them. Mr. Beast, hey, he is on top of his YouTube game. I think he's the guy on YouTube. I think a Mr. Beast versus Matt Cardona make for the internet championship. We could put it on his channel. My channel, dual streaming. I like that. For him, I might do the bash at the bash. Just lay down for Mr. Beast. Let me bring the title out on for his audience, and then I could beat him. And he laughs. Long term booking. We call that. We call that, said Cardona. Asked about KSI. Cardona said, KSI, he's been in WWE before. He tries to get in there. I saw him go through a table. He dressed up as a Prime energy drink bottle. I would dress up as a can of PBR Pabst Blue Ribbon, and I'd beat him 1-on-1, 2, 3. KSI is set to fight Tom Fury at MS and DAZN X Series, the Prime card on October 14th next month. Meanwhile, Cardona has continued to tease a WWE return. But yeah, it's been, and then from his return, and then yeah, it's been one of the talk about wrestling news in recent time. But It's been like 3 years, yeah, back since 2020 when it was Black Wednesday, which was the Wednesday after WrestleMania, that half of the wrestlers in the roster got released, like with the likes of the Good Brothers and Rusev and Sarah Logan, EC3, Mike and Maria Kanellis, and much more. Like all of them got released due to the budget cuts, like of I think WWE used the pandemic as an excuse, so they probably can get away with releasing everybody. And yeah, this is the better camera angle. Sorry if it's a little blurry. Just thought it might be better with the light on because it'll be dark and you can probably hardly can see me in the dark. But anyway, what do you think about this challenge that Matt Cardona gave to Mr. Beast? And do you watch Mr. Beast's channels? I only seen it from highlighted memes and reaction videos about Mr. Beast. Like I have a couple of YouTube homies and even little homies that watch his video, and he got like over millions of subscribers, I believe. And he's very famous on gaming on YouTube. Make sure to check out his channel. I need to start watching it a bit more and see what everybody's talking about. But yeah, what do you think about the challenge that Matt Cardona gave, and then also challenging KSI in the match? And then most importantly, like, what do you think about Matt Cardona is going to potentially make his return to World Wrestling Entertainment? Y'all let me know down in the comments below. I'll say he might be returning, but I don't know about any time soon. Probably have to give him some time. Like for a moment, I thought he'd probably return by WrestleMania 39 this year and help out fight off Solo Sikoa. But I guess I was wrong about that. And I even betted on that, but I technically lost the bet. Even though the bet was free, but yeah, I lost. But I'll say, and I'll say, and his wife Chelsea Green is on there too. And I understand why I said it like the way she and Slatrock would have said it when they introduced the women's tag team champion. But yeah, his wife is on there. His best friend Cody's on WWE. I would say if he comes back, I could guarantee he's probably most likely going to be on the red brand. But let's move on to the next article. It is. Let's see.
I just said it. I like you. I like you.
Kaji.
I like you.
Love you too. But where is good morning? What's wrong with my articles lately? I know my phone's on half percentage. I love you too. I'll play with you in just a moment. I just need to do this little this little wrestling news video. And it says AEW Dynamite's viewership rating number holds a steady September 30th episode of Dynamite drew, according to WrestleNomics, last night's Dynamite drew 888,000 fans. Like this number is up a tick from their usual 887,000 fans. They simply got 1,000 more fans and viewers, I should say. Yeah, their viewership has gotten better, even though they got 1,000 viewers times better. But I'm glad that they drew like a few more fans. I'll say not a few. I should say a grand worth of fans, and I hope AEW succeed in this success. And it's at last Wednesday, and then like Wednesday's episode of AEW Dynamite posted a 0.31 ratings in the 18 to 49 demographic, the same as the rating the show posted on September 6th. Wednesday's AEW Dynamite featured the finals of the Grand Slam tournament as Roderick Strong faced Samoa Joe. Also, John Moxley defeated the defended his international champion and defeated Big Bill against Big Bill, and he defeated him, and then so much more. And we got segment with the Elite Sex Gods like Jericho and Sammy Guevara. We have the Modal Embassy. The Modal Embassy, Brian Cage took on Hangman Adam Page, which Hangman won, and so much more. Yeah, which we recapped yesterday. But yeah, that's a great achievement from AEW Dynamite. I don't say not great. I'll say that's a really good achievement. Yeah, it's not the best one they had yet, but still a good. Still good to hear that they're getting more and more viewers than they would usually simply would have like before. But what do you think about this? And do you think they're going to get even more better at this achievement? Y'all let me know down in the comments below. We're going to move on to the next article. We have WWE announces new dates for Campus Rush College Athlete Recruitment Tournament. It's like more dates added to WWE. Rush WWE announced additional dates and campuses for its Campus Rush tournament, which focused on college athlete recruitment. And it says WWE Campus Rush recruitment. It continues this fall at Stamford, Connecticut, September 14th, 2023. WWE part of TKO Group holds, which is NYSE. TKO today announced the WWE Campus Rush, a multi-campus college recruitment tournament, will visit 7 top NCAA Division I universities this fall in search of the next generation of WWE superstars. WWE superstars such as Big E, Bianca Belair, Omos, Riddick Moss, and Raquel Rodriguez, all of whom have transitioned from college athletics to a career in WWE. Have visited 11 of the nation's top schools since the program's inception last October, including powerhouse athletic programs such as Ohio State, Duke, Oklahoma, and Penn State. WWE superstars address student athletes at each tour stop and educate them about the global leader in sports entertainment. In conjunction with each university, student athletes will learn about WWE's next in line program in the path to becoming the next WWE superstar. Last week, WWE's Campus Rush visited the University of Texas and will visit 6 additional universities from five conferences during the fall semester, including University of Wisconsin. Wednesday, September 27th. University of Pittsburgh, Monday, October 2nd. University of Washington, Wednesday, October 4th. University of Maryland, Tuesday, October 17th. University of Missouri, Monday, October 23rd. Texas Christian University, Tuesday, November 14th. Sports Business Journals in intercollegiate intercollegiate collegiate of athlete forum, Wednesday, December 6th, scheduled subtitle to change. The fall tour will conclude in Las Vegas at Sports Business Journals in intercollegiate. Collegiate athlete forum, the most preeminent conference on the business of college sports on Wednesday, December 6th. But yeah, what it's saying that they're doing campus rush scouts to find their next star from NCAA. Like that's in the universities, like such as like they said, like universities of Maryland, universities of Pittsburgh, and universities of Missouri, and Texas Christian University, which I believe that's TCU. But yeah, like those kind of universities try to look for their next success story from the NCAA, from their college sports athletes, and then introduce them to sports entertainment. Like that's only if they're interested. And what do you think? Who's going to be the next success story into this news? Y'all let me know down in the comments below. We're gonna move on to the next article, which is more AEW news. It's a viewership number since 2019, like below all are of the AEW Dynamite television viewership numbers since 2019. You can see a complete list of cable television numbers at this link below, like in individuals, like which it shows right here from since October. The last time they have a growing viewership was since like over that many fans of nearly 9,000 fans was since November 13th, 2019. And that's been nearly 4 years. That's like still 3.5 years of them getting big numbers. And on their debut show, they got like over 1.4 million viewers in their debut show. But on their second week, they start going down, like because everybody didn't stop watching, and it's been getting lower since like. Look, if they get like 900 views, like every once in a while, like and a million views, like from like September of 2020. That was like the only couple of times, and then once in December too of 2020. But yeah, the last time they recently have growing viewership since I would say they're I'll say according to here on this article, like I would say the last time they had a growing viewership since in recent timing was like since November 13th, 2019. And by that time, that's when Cody Rhodes was in that program and for the AEW World Championship when he made that stipulation. But what do you think about the statistic in the ratings in professional wrestling? Y'all I mean, in this professional wrestling show of AEW Dynamite on AEW's Wednesday night A show. Y'all let me know down in the comments below. We're gonna. And we got some Richard Holiday, got some of this Richard Holiday news. I'm not sure if I ever heard about this guy, but he's the guy in the Indies. He said, I'm going to give you something special. And it says right here, Richard Holiday discusses returning to the ring and being cheered. Richard Holiday announced on April 30th that he was in cancer remission and would be returning to the ring. He wrestled his first match in almost a year at PAPW at Rarefield Rarefied aired on June 10th. Holiday has since made multiple independent appearances, including a bout for GCW. And if I ever heard about this guy, it's probably because of GCW, because of that independent wrestling promotion. Like guys like X-Pac and John Moxley usually wrestle at, and Matt Cardona. But yeah, it said also about Holiday. Holiday was known for the brash and braggadocio's personality in MLW, but since returning from beating cancer, he's embraced his softer side and being cheered from the fans. I believe that everybody has layers of their personality. I'm sure if given the wrong circumstances, you can be a bit of a jerk. In a sense, I think anybody could. I think anybody has the ability to be good or bad. It's all kind of in her an inherent in our in ourselves. Given the circumstances right now, I've been in a good mood. I've been so joyful to be back in doing everything that I'm doing. I'm obviously confident in myself as a performer. Said Richard Holiday. Where was I? Former. Oh, anyway, anytime I get into the ring, whatever mood I may be in that day or that month or that year, whatever mindset I'm in, Richard Holiday is going to give you. I want to give you something special, and you're going to go home remembering it. He said on Under the Ring, which I believe that's a little like Under the Ring podcast. I would say not Under the Ring. It says the Holiday last wrestled Charles Mason. I was about to say Charles Mason at GCW Crushed Up on September 10th, which was like 4 days ago, which I believe that was this past Sunday. But yeah, he faced him elsewhere during the interview. Holiday discussed his free agency. You can find his full comments on clicking on this link, but I'm not sure if you wanna hear about that. But yeah, what do you think? And And do anybody is recognized with this by this independent wrestler named Richard Holiday? Richard Holiday. Y'all let me know down in the comments below. Cause I don't remember hearing about this guy from no wrestling news sites before. Like he's recognized them in most recognized at GCW. Maybe some kind of an independent wrestler that got into the wrestling industry like a couple or a few years ago, and then he could possibly make his debut in either of WWE or AEW, like when that day comes. But I'm gonna remember this name just by saying, like, I remember reading about this guy in this article, and he had cancer and he remissioned it, which I'm glad to hear that. Like, and I'm glad you recovered from cancer, dude. But yeah, y'all let me know down below about anything about the man, and then we're gonna talk about going back to WrestleMania 39 news about Kevin Sullivan agreed with Cody Rhodes losing at WrestleMania 39. He feels he'll win at WrestleMania 40, which I'll say for him losing this year at WrestleMania, I agree too with this Kevin Sullivan guy. Like I think it's probably it's telling some story like when he may have lost to him and he might have got the better of him at this WrestleMania, but not at the next one because he's gonna learn everything what happened and what mistakes that he made from this past showcase event, and he's gonna use it as his advantage of finally defeating the tribal chief. That's my prediction. Like this, not off the table that Cody Rhodes is going to be the one to dethrone Roman Reigns and finish the story and win that WWE title that his father is yet to win. And then it says right here, said Kevin Sullivan talks to Cody finishing the story. Cody Rhodes failed to finish the story at WrestleMania 39, and that decision has been the subject of many debates and podcasts. And it says by Kevin Sullivan has booked his fair share of major main event and knows a lot about the Rhodes family. Speaking on the most recent episode of the Tuesday with the Taskmaster podcast, Sullivan revealed that he was actually in favor of Cody Rhodes losing at WrestleMania 39, feeling that Cody winning so soon after Sami Zayn lost to Roman Reigns at the Elimination Chamber would have brought negative blowback on Cody, which I would say it kind of makes sense now because Sami Zayn did lose on the month prior to WrestleMania at Elimination Chamber when he faced Roman Reigns for the Undisputed Championship. Maybe they will give some backlash, like when the fans start saying you could easily give the win to Cody Rhodes, but but Sami Zayn couldn't win because of outside interferences. Like that wasn't even fair. And then they'll be criticizing Cody, and then they'll make him like a top babyface that they'll boo like they did with Roman Reigns before. Back in 2015 when he won the Royal Rumble, and the fans did not like that, and they were booing the crap out of him. Like they're trying to prevent that. The point is to keep their top good guy babyface or good guy / babyface, the most likable guy in the business. Which I'd say that does make sense. Like, and maybe it was too soon just thinking about it, but I think that Cody is gonna win. Like regardless, the next year, like. And at first, to be honest, I thought he was going to win this year because for a full year, he'd been working his way of like ever since he made his return at the previous WrestleMania, which was WrestleMania 38 in Dallas, Texas. Like he made his return and became Seth Rollins' mystery opponent, where Cody Rhodes made his return. He's been on WWE ever since, and then he's been out for like 7 months with a torn pectoral muscle, which he recovered, and he made his Royal Rumble return, win the Rumble, and then he faced the Tribal Chief at WrestleMania, but he lost the match. But yeah, and he's been winning a lot of matches, like still win one, and then since that loss, the only person he lost to was Brock Lesnar, but it was not by a pinfall, it was by a knockout with him fainting into Brock Lesnar's Kimura lock. And then, and back to this article, it says, I think, and then also Kevin Sullivan also said, I think that if Cody had won, he would have got a lot of backlash by people saying, "Oh, he's just comes in and wins the belt," while these guys have been here for years busting their asses after night after and night after and night after. Like, he needs to win the belt, but he needs to do what his father did if he's playing his father's story. His father put the heels over first, dumped all of the heat, all the adversity. Then he beat Brock with a broken arm. I think they are doing it perfectly, says Kevin Sullivan. Now I think if they're going to WrestleMania 40, it's time. You can't give the people what they want right away. That's true. You've got to make them salivate. You have to salivate for it. Have them salivate for it. I think that when he does defeat Roman Reigns, then they have all four Samoans sitting there. Sullivan continued, there's all kinds of heels. Gunther, they have a stacked group of guys. I think this is the best talent they've had since the Attitude Era. I also think that the next step for Roman is Hollywood, like similar to his cousin The Rock, of course. But that'll probably be his future in the next few years from now. Like, even if you lose the title at WrestleMania 40, which that's like everybody's prediction and my prediction personally. Like, I think even for that, he's gonna be staying around and he's still gonna be part-time. And then they're gonna have him wrestle for a few months in a while, like out of the year, and then they'll probably eventually turn him babyface. And then when he has an opportunity to go to Hollywood, he's gonna take a break from wrestling, be similar to The Rock and John Cena, how they did it when they moved to Hollywood. But anyways, back to this article, is that in the past, Kurt Angle has also suggested that the next step for Roman Reigns is Hollywood, believing that if Roman Reigns chooses not to go to the Tinseltown, he could break a lot more records in WWE, and then they're pretty but it talks about more exclusively onto this link. But I'm gonna stop right here and say and continue to say that Roman Reigns could go to Hollywood, and it may be probably not sooner than later though, but it'll probably be like when he's fully done being a full timer, and even for being in Hollywood, he probably made part-time appearances like John Cena, like he's doing like right now, for an example, like he's gonna be on WWE television for the next month because the Hollywood the actor strikes that's going out in Hollywood, and they shut down the productions and the shootings and everything of on sets and stuff for movie sets and TV series too, like on big movie productions and TV productions in Hollywood. So we're gonna see plenty of John Cena until October, which I'm probably thinking that he's he's gonna be there until like anytime after what's it called, Fastlane, yeah. And what do you think about Roman Reigns possibly moving to Hollywood just like his cousin Dwayne The Rock Johnson? Y'all let me know down in the comments below. We're gonna move on to the next news story, which is Seth freaking Rollins news. Or should I say just Seth Rollins? Seth Rollins' reaction to PWI 500 2023 with a Shield fist bump photo. And it says right here, Seth Rollins brings back memories in pro wrestling Illustrated dropped its annual PWI 500 list on today, September 14th, ranking the top 50 wrestlers of all time of this year, or the 500 wrestlers of the year, according to their Critteria post said Seth Rollins is on the top list in 2023, followed by Roman Reigns and Jon Moxley. Taking to social media, Seth freaking Rollins posted a photo of the famous Shield fist bump between the three men. Rollins, Reigns, and Moxley, formerly known as Dean Ambrose in WWE, formed the Shield in WWE beginning in November 2012. The group broke up in June 2014, but Moxley left WWE and signed with AEW in 2019. That's when they have the final chapter, like when they reformed, like for the third time in a row, like because they knew Jon Moxley was leaving. His contract was coming up after that year's WrestleMania 35, and then he was not going to. And it was said that he wasn't going to resign. So they did a final chapter with them three taking on Baron Corbin, Drew McIntyre, and Bobby Lashley in the 6-man tag match, which was some kind of a special Shield event. And then a month afterwards, like when his contract expired back in April, and he went to AEW in May, made his debut at their first ever Double or Nothing pay-per-view. And then he hit the paradigm shift to the referee, Chris Jericho and Kenny Omega, making his presence known. And I believe he did. He waited for a month until his contract expired, so they probably WWE won't do any funny business, saying like he broke a rule about signing with another promotion, right after his contract expires or whatever. But yeah, what do you think about this great achievement from the three guys on them making it to the top list of the 500 pro wrestlers of the year, like with both Rollins, Reigns, and Moxley? Like, y'all let me know down in the comments below. I think this is their greatest achievement, along with winning a heavyweight championship gold and becoming Grand Slam champion and being recognizable names from the last 13 years. 11 years, because they debuted in 2012, not 10. For the past 11 years of being of making their presence known, and even though Jon Moxley hasn't been there since 2019, that he's still being very popular. He was being very popular into the business. And up next we got Shane Hawk, a wrestler who is 20 years old of age, didn't have to put in nearly as much work as wrestlers today. And it says right here, Shane Hawk shoots on wrestlers 20 years old, or not 20 years old, 20 years ago. Yeah, Shane Hawk's wrestlers 20 years ago didn't have to put nearly much work in. And then Shane Hawk shoots on the wrestlers 20 years ago. The the last time Shane Hawk was on in the weeds, he buried the U.S. Indies and got the attention of current MLW World Champion Alex Kane. Well, Shane was back on in the weeds on September 11th, and he went after wrestlers from 20 years ago while praising the current generation. Pro wrestlers 20 years ago could not hold a candle to how much work is necessary these days in the business. Wrestlers from 20 years ago didn't have to put in nearly as much work as wrestlers of this generation. There's our headline. Jim Cornette is going to get very upset. Also, Eric Bischoff. Let's don't do that too. We're we're just going to go for it. Laughs. And he's like laughs. Laughs. According to that he was doing. Here's here's what I mean. 20 years ago, indie wrestling one performance enhancing business. There were a lot fewer spots in pro wrestling, and therefore the people at the cream were also centered around it and didn't have as much competition with the advent of social media and the global expansions of pro wrestling. There are so many people and so many talent pro wrestlers that being a a good wrestler is not enough to get bookings anymore. It doesn't matter if you're just a good wrestler, if you're just a good wrestler, if you're just a good wrestler, you just started the practice. The level of talent has has enter has enter increased so significantly. Also, here another thing audience are so exposed to wrestling. You can watch wrestling every day of the week, all day, every day, and still not get through the weekly current. Back then, you just had local TV, and even then, you didn't have the promote yourself. Had to promote yourself. These days, wrestlers we need a sales degree. Yeah, wrestlers need a sales degree and a marketing degree to even know how to do shipping and know all these social media platforms. We need a degree in programming. We have to learn AI or else we're going to be absolute absolute absolutely obsolete in 10 years. There is too much too many choices, and you never pick one because there are so many. That wasn't the case 20 years ago. When I started 20 years ago, I could just jump into a car, to a show, ride to a show, help set up, and then make a headlock, a finish, because audiences weren't used to seeing seven destroyers. Whether or not that's a good or bad thing is is debatable, and I'm happy to have that conversation. But I can say it was say I can say it was easier as an in-ring performer to get spots in wrestling 20 years ago. Look at the jobbers they had on Saturday night. Are we seeing some of these people that they used to they used to get regular job spots? They are getting paid on average these ham and eggers, they have no gimmick. They they don't have to promote themselves because the promoters does it for them. The promoters does that for them. You can do that. How not? You have to be a commodity, a proven commodity to get paid now. These guys are coming out. They're in black trunks. They are five. They are 5 foot. They're 5 foot nothing. They are not in shape, and they're on national TV. Now we have Orange Cassidy, who has 30 matches with the AEW International title defenses, and that's not enough. Shane is current. Shane is currently sidelined with multiple injuries, but helps run IWS. IWS is set to hold its know your enemies event on September 16th. The event will air on Elite TV, or not Elite TV. I was looking at it wrong. My bad. It's going to be airing on Fight TV. My apologies. Yeah, it's going to air on Fight TV. But what do you think about Shane? What's his last name? Shane Hawk. Like, what do you think about Shane Hawk's comment about nowadays wrestling being better than 20 years ago era in professional wrestling? Y'all let me know down in. And I believe he's right on that, because there's so many opportunities. Like, if you want to be a professional wrestler, like, you don't have to do what the older wrestlers had to do in order to get on national TV. Like there's so much opportunities. Like, they have indie promotions, social media, and so much opportunities now. Like, and you can even have what those degrees are called.
You tell her you was painting your stuff.
And it's wrestling's being global, and then everybody's knowing which, like, professional wrestling promotions and indie promotions. Like, it's so much to choose from, and it's a total variety. Like, when it wasn't that many, like, back, like guys like him, like, all he knows is, like, if there's the nearest a near wrestling facility that does wrestling shows, like, and he just go into his car and drive there. Like, he did not know, like, he can go and apply and travel into which wrestling promotion. Like, now they have so many wrestling promotions and plenty of locations. Like, he can just go there and work for the team. Yeah. And then you can let's see right here what the degrees are called again. Sorry for the wait. I'm just trying to see. Well, I can't find it. I'm just gonna say, yeah, like, and you can get so many degrees. You can sell merchandise, and then even being making money on social media and platforms, like, and then have their indie shows on YouTube. which I only watch a couple of them, but I need to watch more of them because they're very entertaining. And and they even show the wrestlers that are now in WWE and AEW that came from the independent scene like how they got their start from. And I was like, wow, like and they did very impressive too. Like even when they very first came into the business. But yeah, I need to watch more of it, and then I can see who could possibly be the next star in either AEW, WWE, or any promotion you can name, or even an Impact or a New Japan or AAA or CMLL or wherever. Yeah. But what do y'all think? Y'all let me know down in the comments below about this hot take, which I bet most of us would agree what he's saying. Like it's more convenient than it was 20 years ago, like in the early 2000s, late 90s, like where we're not sure where you can get your start other than doing it the old-fashioned way. And then we got some John Moxley news now. John Moxley, Moxley news. Like John Moxley says he finds it hard to imagine a world where Bryan Danielson completely stops wrestling. Like with John Moxley comment on his onto his Blackpool Combat Club teammate Bryan Danielson on a recent announcement on the September 9th episode of AEW Collision of Bryan Danielson sent a shockwave throughout the world of wrestling making of a wrestling making the announcement that his career, at least on a full-time based schedule, is becoming to wind down. Danielson noted that he made a promise to his daughter that when she turned 7 years old, he would start winding down things inside the squared circle. In a new interview with Cincinnati ESPN recently, which I'm assuming it was probably today or yesterday, 15:30, Danielson's Blackpool Combat Club stablemate John Moxley said that he can't imagine a world where the American Dragon stops wrestling on a full-time basis. On the flip side, Moxley also noted that things that thinks Danielson is 100% serious about winding down things in a full-time sense. Yeah. He also said, I find it hard to imagine a world where a healthy Bryan Danielson stops wrestling. These tongue ties are getting annoying. Stops wrestling at all. But I definitely feel like he's a 100% serious, saying he wants to wind it down and not be wrestling as frequently on the road and being away from his kids every away from his kids every week. I 100% buy that. It's true. I find it hard to imagine him actively being, for sure, he's never going to wrestle again. I find that hard to imagine, not saying it couldn't happen. Moxley went on to tell ESPN 1530 Cincinnati to tell wrestling fans to pause and think about how fortunate they are to be seeing Danielson still wrestle, especially due to the fact he's overcome a lot of abs- as estab statical ecstatical. Yeah, where was that? to overcome a lot of obstacle in his career. We've seen we've seen people be here one day and their careers are over the next. Every time you get to see these greats wrestle. Terry Funk was here a a couple week a couple weeks ago. Now he's not any not he he's not anytime you get to see these greats wrestle. You should really stop and pause and think about how fortunate you are to be seeing this one Michael Jordan retire. You can't turn on the TV and watch Michael Jordan play basketball anymore. You you got a chance to see Brian Danielson on Dynamite. Stop and pause and really enjoy it while it's here because you're enjoying something special. And and Danielson is set to face Zack Sabre Jr. at the upcoming Wrestle Dream pay-per-view. Fans can see the up the updated the updated card for the event by clicking on this link. But anyways, yeah, we're gonna see that at October 4th. Not 4th, October 1st. October 1st. And we're gonna that's the first match that's been announced. And what do you think about this dream match coming to a reality? Like, y'all let me know about that down in the comments. But and also, what do you think about when Brian Danielson could be retiring or settling down into possibly in the part-time base and making that promise to his 6-year-old going on 7-year-old daughter? Y'all let me know down in the comments below. But I think he's been killing it, like for being in the wrestling business for like 20 years, and he's still moving he's still moving around and hitting moves like when he was the WWE World Heavyweight Champion almost a decade ago. But I hope that day doesn't come sooner as we think because him wrestling out in the ring and I even seen the recaps of the match against Ricky Starks. Like he can still move at the age of his early age of 40. I think he should not retire like anytime soon. But if it's time and then he made a promise to his kids and he's gonna spend more time with them, like he should just do what he needs to do. Yeah. Like family always comes first. But yeah, like I'm gonna let y'all decide about that, about what according to this article down in the comments below. We're gonna move on to this next article. I think it'll be insane. And like John Moxley said, it wouldn't be the same without the American Dragon. Up next, we got some Sonny Kiss news now. With that, Sonny Kiss have so much more to offer than just having a great. Yeah, y'all know the rest. Who knows Sonny Kiss's catchphrase? But anyways, yeah. Sonny Kiss is not just a gimmick. Sonny Kiss is signed with AEW since 2019, or in 2019 at least. I don't say since because I believe she departed AEW she departed AEW back in from this past month, I believe. Yeah. But and she's competed on several of the company's first shows. Kiss made quite an impression by shaking her behind and using it in the ring. Speaking of busted open radio, Sonny's backstage came up in the conversation, and she noted that she made quite an impression by incorporating it into her move sets. Kiss noted that in heights, in insight, she wouldn't have used her. Yeah, like she would have used her. Yeah, I don't know if I can say it. I'm not trying to be like Nathan Kress from iCarly, but I just can't say it. So she soon upon her rivals as AEW, as people still think she's just a gimmick. However, Kiss made it clear that she has much more to offer. If and then she said onto this Busted Open Radio interview, said if I knew that was gonna be the response, I probably wouldn't have done that as my first introduction to AEW, because that was the first spot I did. That was with 10,000 people and everybody watching at home saw. So I probably wouldn't have made that my first spot that the world had seen of Sunny Kiss. That's one thing I'll take, because from that I would still do it, and I think I was supposed to have more offense with Brian Cage, but I think somehow things are going to over somehow like
help take control of your symptoms with Vraylar. Some medicines only treat the lows or highs.
Supposed to, but I think somehow things are going to going all over the place, and your stuff gets cut. It happens. I wouldn't have had that as my first spot when you're a person like me. When you're a person like me, you can't do certain things like that, because then the world just sees you as sees that. Even to this day, people say, "Oh, you're just gimmick." No, you're just a gimmick. Like, no, you have not been watching my progression. In my progression, if you think that I'm just a gimmick, I am so much more than that. I am very athletic. God bless you. You're welcome. I'm very talented. I'm very unique. I have so more to offer than just having great. Yeah, y'all know the rest of the catchphrase. Have more than just a great. Like that. That was up to me to that. That was on me. I needed to show that more. I needed to show that I was more than just a spicy, aggressive wrestler. Like I said, that was made introduction. So that's what that was what the podcasters and other people wanted to talk about, because that was because that's what I showed them. That's what I showed them. Said Kiss, or Kiss said, I should say. What do you think about this comment Sunny Kiss made? Like, and I believe she was talented, just didn't agree with much about the gimmick, but like I said, but I agree with one thing on what she's saying, like she's more than just a gimmick, and she did show that when her time in AEW. And I understand what AEW did not see for the reason of her departing with her. Yeah. Like, if they didn't really see much with her, like, they might as well might as well should have just released her and laid her on her way instead of waiting and catering and then waiting until I don't know what to do. And then when her deal is up, like you just don't contact her if she wants to renew it and then have plans for her. Like that's kind of odd for AEW's side of things. And this happened with some of the wrestlers, like her former tag partner Joey Janela and Marco Stunt, like for an example. And I believe Stu Grayson until they finally contacted him back to make a return to AEW and AEW television. But yeah, y'all let me know about this news story in the comments down below. We'll move on to the next. We're gonna move on to the next news article, which is we got some Tyler Breeze news about his time being the fashion police with his former tag partner Fandango, which now he's going by the name Dirty Dango in Impact Wrestling. It says right here, Tyler Breeze doesn't think Breezango will have ever won Raw or SmackDown Tag Team Champions, despite them being former NXT Tag Team titles when they went back to the Black and Gold brand back in their time before they got released in 2021. It says Tyler Breeze and Fandango combined for one of the more entertaining tag teams over the past years, as Breezango made the most of limited opportunities with the fashion files. The duo looked to solve cases in their unique way, but were often defeated by the most brooding teams. The duo did find success when they reunite in 2019, winning the NXT Tag Team Championships in 2020, which I remember that I believe they beat Imperium for the titles. Yeah, it was Imperium. They beat Marcel Bartel, Fabian Eigner, which they're now going by the name Ludwig Kaiser and Giovanni Vinci. But yeah, that speaking to unscriptified Breeze was asked if he believed the duo would ever win the tag team titles on the main roster, at least, of course.
Oh, so it is what you showing me. It's just cleaned up.
I don't think according to this unscriptified podcast, I would say it's a podcast. I would say unscriptified interview. Tyler Breeze was like, I don't think so. I don't think it would have ever happened or on Raw or SmackDown. There was a time where we got really hot as a babyface tag team, and they were really behind what we were doing. They loved the fashion files. They really liked what we were doing, and they cared about us to the point where we did some in-ring promos with the New Day, and we were right in there with them. It wasn't these random guys that no one cared about. It was right there where they could have done something good with us. There was one or two times where they were going to make us number one contenders on or do something, and it was the only time where I thought, man, I think they missed the boat on how not we were right there. I just don't know if they would have ever really let it go. It let it go. It would have been what it would have been, and then
What the hell?
and then
Oh, no.
and then away and away we
Go.
go. Away going to NXT was the right call. It said Breeze.
I like
What the hell is it?
Oh, Trey, you be careful. Trey, be careful. Uncle SNA's trying to finish his podcast. No, Trey, you know.
How does he download the PDF?
Trey, you stop
don't
it. No,
do
don't
that.
do that. But anyway, back to the news article.
What is he?
Breezango did challenge the Usos for the SmackDown Tag Team Championship at Backlash 2017. I like do that. I don't know why I did that tongue tie. What a blooper. But anyway, the duo split when they were both released from WWE in 2020, but have reunited on the independent scene as Dirty Breeze, because I believe Tyler Breeze still had his name, but Fandango didn't have his name. At least the Fang his nickname Fandango, but now he's going by the name Dirty Dango, and they were known as Dirty Breeze into the independent scene. And elsewhere during the interview, Breeze discussed talking a Canadian destroyer. You can find his full comment about it, but yeah, what you thought about the tag team a few years ago of Fandango and Tyler Breeze? Did you think they were underrated or unappreciated enough to the point that WWE could have used more? Like, and despite them being so entertained of their fashion files, like it even entertained me when I was watching them back in 2017 when they had that programming, when they were in that investigation programming with the Ascension, like when they were trying to figure out any evidence about them, which I forget about the whole story because it's been since then the last time I watched it. I mean, I watched a couple of highlights and replays from their segments of doing some investigation into the tag division, but I think they should use them more than that, and they should have gotten a main roster title shot besides that time with the Usos in Backlash and their Backlash pay-per-view in 2017 for their SmackDown tag team straps. I think they should have did more with them. They should have even pulled the trigger of them becoming becoming either the Raw or SmackDown tag team championship, but it looks like we probably won't see that anytime soon. And do you think that they could come back to WWE? Well, technically, Tyler Breeze made his return back to WWE, but only to be on Xavier Woods' YouTube content in his YouTube channel, Up, Down, Down, on the Battle of the Brand series of them going face off into the general manager mode, like. Or who's the better general manager, with Tyler Breeze being general manager on Raw and Xavier Woods is the general manager of WCW. Make sure y'all check that out. It's very entertaining to watch and very funny too. Like y'all will get y'all's time's worth of watching it. But what do you think? Do you think they're gonna reunite on WWE and become a tag team and even finally win with either of WWE's tag team titles? I mean, they won the NXT tag team titles, but what do you think they're going to win any tag team championship on the main roster, I should say? Y'all let me know down in the comments, and we're going to move on to the next. And we're going to move on to the next news article, which is.
Yes, it definitely would. This Fairfax area here is mainly industrial, but there are businesses that have moved here just because of the plant, primarily restaurants. They rely on the thousands of workers who are inside of the plant to keep their businesses open, and for them, a strike would be devastating.
And okay, we got a couple more before we go closing time. We got Naisha and it says Masha Slamovich. That's what. I hope I pronounced that right for you, Miss Slamovich. Yeah, Masha Mahmoud ranks as 15 in the 2023 PWI top 500. Be, becomes the highest rank in women in PWI 500 history. Which I'll say congratulations. Even though if I'm not mistaken, I probably never heard about this woman wrestler, but I'm happy that she got this accolade to be the have the highest ranking as the most top women in this professional wrestling industry. And it says Masa Slamovich, that I would say Slamovich, makes history yet again on Thursday, September 14, 2023, which is today. As I'm doing this video, it says right here the digital version of the PWI 500 was released to the public. Members of the rankings committee, the ranking committee appeared on the members of the ranking committee appeared on the Busted Open Radio and revealed the top 10 to the world, which include stars like Seth freaking Rollins, Roman Reigns, MJF, Gunther, and much more. And with her being on the top 15 list, being the most top women into this Impact Wrestling star, Masha Slamovich barely missed out on the top 10 as she ranked as on the top number 15 on the list, placing higher than other top stars like Will Ospreay, Bryan Danielson, and Bobby Lashley. PWI's Kristen Ashley took to social media and celebrated Slamovich's ranking in the years list as she is now officially the highest ranked woman in PWI 500 in history. Which I'll say congratulations to her, and I hope she gets more achievements in her journey as a professional wrestler in the foreseeable future. And what do you think about this latest achievement from a women's wrestler? Y'all let me know down in the comments. We're gonna end this video with this last article right here. It is Kevin Knight names Swerve Strickland. Kevin Knight names Swerve Strickland and Darby Allin and more as dream opponents that he could possibly face when he probably gets into the professional wrestling, not the industry. I'll say in the professional wrestling company. Probably much he's referring to AEW because I think this independent wrestler Kevin Knight names his dream opponent. Kevin Knight has been teaming with junior heavyweight legend Kushida and has shared the ring with a who's who list of top junior heavyweight in the world in the history of professional wrestling. Speaking to Women's Wrestling Talk, Knight gave other opponents he is very interested in facing. And then he said, I got a few I feel like I would have some great chemistry with. It may happen sooner than later. I got my eyes on that X Division championship, Leo Rush on Impact Wrestling. So I said Impact Wrestling, of course, but the X Division champion Leo Rush, and I also ever step in the ring one-on-one with him. We worked a couple tags, whatever had a couple of tags, but if we got if we get that actual one-on-one, whether it's for the X Division Championship or for the X Division title or whatever, I feel like we'd have a great chemistry and put on something real nice. He's one of my biggest inspirations. So to get in the ring with somebody like that that would validate my whole career at the point to be able to keep up with somebody I looked up to. That's somebody that I've looked up to, which he said, and he also said, so me, and Leo definitely swerve, and definitely swerve Strickland, of course. That me and Leo and definitely Swerve, which he's referring to Swerve Strickland in AEW, of course. I really like Darby Allin's intensity. I feel like we would have a great hard hitting match. Seattle, so I feel like that story would be there just to further not only do one match. You could do some type of series or whatever. Leo, Swerve, and Darby. I would feel like top three. Also, Carmelo Hayes, which he currently the NXT champion in WWE, of course. Carmelo Hayes. I feel like all of us have some type of good chemistry. He said, "Knife face Leo as on the Knife face Leo at the September 7th episode of Impact Wrestling, with Leo picking up the victory." Elsewhere during the interview, praised Mercedes Moné. You can check that out into this link, but I'm not sure. I'm sure y'all want to hear that now. We're probably gonna hear that probably on the next news, anyways. So, but yeah, like I'll say, most of these wrestlers, they are athletic. They are athletic African American wrestlers, except for Darby Allin. But he said all the junior heavyweights, which Darby Allin's the junior heavyweight, Swerve Strickland's the junior heavyweight, Carmelo Hayes and what's his name, Leo Rush, his main man, or junior heavyweight. And what do you think about this from this guy, from Kevin Knight? And I believe he's an independent wrestler, but he also is a professional wrestler as well. And what do you think about this comment from this podcast with Women Wrestling Talks? But y'all let me know down in the comments. And I would say, and I was thinking the same thing about Darby Allin. Like, if I was a professional wrestler, I would like to have him to be one of my dream opponents. And of course, I would like to have the legendary veteran betray you. You can't be doing that. Uncle SNA is trying to do his podcast right now. But anyways, no, this is not a jump rope. This is Uncle SNA's charger. He's gonna need to charge his phone in just a minute after he talks about this review. But yeah, I think this guy looks very interesting. Looks very entertaining. Like, I think I might have heard about this Kevin Knight guy, but I haven't really seen none of his matches. I need to check that out. I need to remember. If I don't remember watching his matches, I could just easily recap on the end of this video and see what the guy's name is. But he said he wants to face him. Like, and do you think it would be a dream match? Like, in his case, it would be. Y'all let me know down in the comments about that. But I would say, I think of other legendary wrestlers that I would love to wrestle if I was a wrestler. I would say, obviously, John Cena would be on that list too, and the Edge, and a Jericho, and who else? I'll say Bobby Lashley, Brock Lesnar. Like, why not? Like, whoever wrestlers from AEW and WWE, and even the Sting too, a Sting, a Christian Cage, even the current wrestlers, I would love to see like the likes of Luchasaurus and Jack Perry and who else, and Keith Lee as well, and Adam Cole and an MJF and a John Moxley, Seth freaking Rollins, a Finn Balor, even a Dominic Mysterio or Carmelo Hayes, Braun Breaker, like all the guys that are like main event worthy. Just a minute, Uncle Super Ninja Austin's about to be done. I know. Can you wait just 1 second? Uncle Super Ninja Austin's almost done. This is his last news report that he's gonna be doing. It's like you just ate a slice of pizza and you just lay it on the ground like these. Oh, be careful, Trey. You gotta be careful. You can't be. But yeah, I would love. Anyways, I would love to.
He wants me to swing him high.
But I would like to see that. But I probably would like to see him have those dream matches on AEW with Darby Allin and Swerve Strickland. What do you think? Like, should Kevin Knight should have his debut in All Elite Wrestling? Y'all let me know down in the comments below. And yeah, and I would like pretty much like everybody. And then also, oh yeah, Drew McIntyre, Sheamus, and a Matt Riddle. I would like to face him if I become a wrestler. And heck, CM Punk too. Like, even though he's the most controversial star, but he looks like a kind of guy that you would love to share a ring with. And I would say even Eddie Kingston with his Mad King self, and RVD, Tommy Dreamer, Rhino, like the ECW originals, even a Raven, even the Dudley Boys. Like I would love to share a ring with legendary wrestlers like them and current wrestlers there too. Yeah, and also not to mention Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, even Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, Hangman Adam Page, even probably Scorpio Sky too on AEW, like which we rarely see him. Like we probably see him only have one match, which was a few weeks ago at AEW Collision. But yeah, I guess we're gonna end the SNA podcast right here. With the part six of the wrestling news, which I hope we do another one this Sunday, which will be part 7. But yeah, this was the SNA podcast. SNA podcast episode 34. Hope y'all enjoyed the video, and if you like this video, make sure you give it a huge thumbs up. Comment down below. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already, and click the bell notification so you can be notified on my new upcoming video. And speaking of a new upcoming video, we're gonna have tomorrow night with episode 35 and episode 36 of the SNA podcast. It's just the WWE Friday Night SmackDown review part 5, and then the SNA podcast episode 36 of the AEW Rampage review part 36. Not 36, part 5. Yeah, part 5 as well. Like SmackDown. The SNA podcast of the AEW Dynamite. AEW Rampage part 6. Or not part 6. Oh my God, one more time. Like the AEW Rampage review part 5. Make sure y'all check that out, and I hope y'all have a great evening. I'll see you then a little bit over 24 hours from now, probably 25, 26, 27 hours from now. I've been your host, Super Ninja Austin. This was episode 34 of the SNA podcast, like I said, and I'll see you then. Super Ninja Austin, the assassin, out.
Uncle,
Still turning its way to